I've got a question for you. When you write a blog post, how much time do you spend on creating your blog title or headline? Come on, be honest. For most of us, it's not that much time. And today, I'm here to tell you why that needs to change and how you can change it. Hi, I'm Colette Broomhead. I help people who want to quit their 9-to-5 for good and create a business doing what they love. And this is Business Class Monday. During my 13-year corporate career, I spent some time working in email marketing. And one of the things that really frustrated me was that you could spend hours carefully crafting this amazing email content, working on a design that was going to be engaging and creating fantastic images. And if people didn't click on if people didn't like the subject line, they didn't open the email and it was all for nothing. And the same goes for your blog. If your headline doesn't entice people to click, then all that work, that research, that planning, the creation of that blog post is for nothing because no one's going to read it. So why do we spend so much time on the content of our post and so little time on creating a headline or a title that people are going to click on? There's actually an argument that says that we should actually be spending 80% of the time on the headline and only 20% on the rest of the post. And while that may be an extreme, it kind of makes sense because if you don't get the headline right, the rest is for nothing. So let's go through some key tips and tricks that you can use when you're creating your blog post headlines. Number one is to be specific. Let your reader know what it is that they're going to gain by reading your post. What are they going to learn? What benefit are they going to get from reading your post? Be specific, but also be bold. Make them a promise. Make a bold claim as long as you can back it up when they actually read the post. So there's an extreme that people can go to where you could say, read this post to guarantee a 6-figure salary or something along those lines. And frankly, people are weary of those types of headlines and rightly so pretty cynical about them, and so won't click on them. So be bold, but be realistic as well. Make sure it's something that you can back up. But equally, don't be thinking about this is something that everyone must achieve. Be thinking more along the lines of, if someone, your best case scenario, clicks on this post and reads everything and does everything that you tell them, and achieves the best that they can from that advice, what's the best result that they can get? So you're being realistic, it is possible, but also you're being bold. And at the end of the day, this is a piece of marketing. You want people to click and read your post. So it needs to be more than just mediocre and mundane. Number two is to play on people's emotions. It can often work to make people laugh, or to say something really controversial that's going to fire people up. Of course, it always works to play on people's fears or frustrations, or at the other end of the scale, to play to their dreams and their hopes. You can aggravate their pain points. What is it that they're really suffering with at the moment or frustrated about? Make them really feel that, and then tell them how that your post is going to solve that for them. Number three, think about the words that you're using. Pick your words really carefully because words matter. So firstly, think about the keywords. I've talked about this a little bit in some of my other posts, but your keywords are what you would expect your ideal readers or clients to be typing into their search engine, Google for example, to find your blog post. So as an example, the keywords that I'm using for this post are clickable blog headlines. So think what that would be for you and include that in your title, because that makes it nice and easy for search engines like Google to identify that this is what the post is about and to make sure that you rank for those keywords. Also, when you're thinking about words, try to use what's called power words. So power words are the words that jump out at people, that kind of, when they're reading the headline, will be the words that kind of hit them in the face. So words like devastated, defiance, six-figure salary, and things like that jump out. If you want more examples, just Google power words and you'll get a whole ton of them. But make sure you use, maybe just one, but try and choose words carefully. Think, is this something that's going to be really impactful? Another really important thing when you're writing your blog title or headline is to speak to your reader. Just the simple use of you is really powerful, because it feels like you're talking directly to someone, and that what you have written is for them and about them. Of course, it never hurts to use what works for other people. So there are certain types of blog post that will always be popular. List posts go down really well. People like to know that it's something that's going to be easily scannable. A list tells them exactly how much content and how much value they're going to get. And people like numbers in blog titles. Go figure. So list posts work really well. How-tos work really well. A lot of the time when people are finding blog posts, it's because they want to learn how to do something. So writing a how-to is going to scratch that itch. Equally, guides, beginner's guides, the dummy's guide too, always works well as well. But you don't just need to look at what works for other people. Test what works best for you. It may vary depending on what your niche is, what your style of writing is, who your ideal clients are, and so on. So test what works for you. Now, I use a great tool that's part of my Thrive Themes package, and that allows me to test different headlines for the same post, and then it tells me which are the ones that are most popular, so that I can just focus on those. But there are free tools as well that you can use. So CoSchedule has a great headline analyzer, so you can type in 10, 20 more different versions of a headline, and it will score it for you based on a number of factors and explain what those factors are, so that you can start to see what makes a good headline. And advice that I seem to give in nearly all of my videos on all of my topics is ask. If you're not sure, ask someone. If you know someone who fits your ideal client description, say, hey, I'm writing this post, what do you think of this headline? And get someone else's opinion, because sometimes it can be quite difficult to be objective when you're writing something yourself. So getting someone else's opinion is always really insightful. So hopefully that gives you some tools so that you can go away and start to spend more time on creating headlines that are going to be clickable and are going to bring more people to your blog. And in the meantime, I shall see you next week for another Business Class Monday. Check this out. I'm filming me.